Thank you so much, Miss Catherine. And I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you so much. And now I'm starting the presentation. And by the way, very happy Teachers' Day to each one of you. And I wish each one of here on this platform all the success in all their endeavors. So starting with my presentation, today we are doing our presentation on neurodevelopmental disorder, that is an overview on ASD. So now, before I will explain further, I would like each one of you to view this video first.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again. One day I
Now,
Right.
so I hope everyone has watched this clip.
Like,
Okay, so can I ask to each one of you that can anyone tell the condition of this child and what could be the barriers of learning or challenges that the child is facing and has been facing? Can anyone can they can put the answers in the chat? Any guesses randomly, whatever the any thought that is coming into your mind by watching this video? So just put it in the chat and then I'll take it further.
we have Maha. Thank you very much, Maha. Maha suggests that it could be sensory issues.
Okay, fine, great. Another 2 3 minutes. Speech issues. Okay, okay. Should I play once more? Should I play once more the clip or it's fine? If somebody has not seen it, I can play once more. It's just 48 seconds.
Okay, I think you could play it, Mr.
Okay,
Rohit.
okay. Thank you, miss. I'm playing it again.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds.
Push.
So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again. One day I
Okay. Now I'm asking to everyone that what can anyone tell the condition of the child and what could be the barriers of learning and challenges that this child could be facing every day? ASD, yes, right, right. I can see the answer ASD. Manju, autism, yes,
Sheila is saying perhaps it's the environment, speech and communication. Some really good suggestions here.
yes, right, great. Okay, emotional disturbance, okay, sensory issues, lack of socialization. Okay, fine. Fantastic.
Brilliant. Brilliant
Fantastic
ideas.
answer. Brilliant ideas and absolutely spot on. Some answers are absolutely right and some are absolutely yes. New things are also coming. A child might find difficult to interact with peers, right?
Could be a mix of lots of them. We're intrigued. Tell us, Mr.
Yes.
O'Hit.
Oh my God. There are some things that I'm also learning. So it's really great that I'm receiving such responses. It will
Hello.
elevate my knowledge as well. Not experienced before. Okay, great. Okay, fine. So, yes, it is. We are talking about the autism spectrum disorder. Absolutely right. So, when we talk about autism, it is not a single disorder, which it is a spectrum of closely related disorders where you see the child will be having so many challenges and difficulties, that is to to socialize with people. There will be a repetitive behavior, there will be a speech delay, non-verbal, absolutely. There will be lack of eye contact, there will be attention. So most of us do know that these are some of the prominent features that the autism, the children facing autism or having autism, they will definitely display all these symptoms and features like lack of eye contact, tension, speech delay, problems with social communication, and repetitive behavior. And sometimes they might have one or more other disorders or disabilities as well, that we call it comorbid. So autism spectrum is a wider term that we whenever we search a lot of things on ASD, so we get to know a lot of things. Like there will be, you will be having PDD, pervasive developmental disorder, in which it will be further categorized autism, Asperger syndrome, RIT. So there are several other disorders which are closely related. So when we say autism, so it is not a single disorder, it is a spectrum of closely related disorders. Now, moving further, there are different levels of autism that we see, and we will see a wide degree of variation in the way it definitely affects the people. So I have categorized into level 1, level 2, and level 3. And in our schools, we say wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So level 1 can be high functioning autism. We always say, I believe that it is not at all a disability, it's a different ability to view things, to have different perspective that no one other can have. So people with autism, they are certainly gifted. It is just that how we observe them and how we can well identify those talents and gifts that they are blessed with. So level 1 is a high functioning autism which needs definitely support, but not at that level. Like social and communication support, definitely they need. They will also display repetitive behaviors, but it will be noticeable, like it will be not that much. So with the help of the teacher, caregivers, and parents, uh, you can be able to handle the things. You can well manage with children having autism of level 1. So there is not much problem that you will face. But when we move to level 2, yes, that needs substantial support, definitely from the caregivers and teachers, support in the school. They must observe the children with level 2 autism, wave 2 autism that we say in our schools, wherein they have to have a definitely an LSA support at times when their needs are, because their needs are complex and unique. It takes time to understand that where they are lacking, but still it is still manageable. And with the help of with the right coordination with the teacher and the LSA and the SEND department, and the caregivers, you can definitely create a good support for them, and definitely they can shine, and they can you know uh, they can exceed the expectations, definitely. Now when it comes to severe autism, that is level 3, that requires a very targeted approach, more effective based strategies. They need very substantial support from the caregivers, parents, and in school. And they definitely need to be like they you have to create a modified curriculum for them, a modified timetable for them, set a routine for them, so that they are well placed. They because it's when you deviate from the routine, so it gets very difficult to control their behavior, or you can say tantrums. But yes, I would say that if the right support and substantial support is given to them, they can definitely shine, and they can display some really talented, they can display real talent that which you cannot even expect. So sometimes it takes time to, when you are observing them, when you are teaching them, when you are with them the whole day, it takes time. You need to be patient enough to understand their needs, their because it's very complex. Sometimes you also get frustrated, or you tend to lose your patience. But I would say that that's the time when you need to keep hold on your nerves, and keep supporting them, keep identifying and observing them. And certainly you will get some solutions, and be in constant touch with your SEND department, with the caregivers, and the outside agencies also, who are taking care, if the child is going for the BCBA support, or for a therapy, or for any for a speech pathologist. So definitely you need to be in coordination with them, and understand that what kind of need, and what are the developments, and what progress he has made. So level 3 autism requires very substantial support, and you need to be patient, and you need keep innovating yourself, coming up with new ideas to support them. I hope everyone is on the same page. So whatever questions you have, I will certainly we will answer them. And
Mr. Rohit,
if
can
I'm
I
going
just
too fast,
pause you a moment? I think your mic is, I don't know if it's just me or is it anyone else. I think your mic is kind of crackling a little bit. Is anyone else hearing that? Yeah,
Yes.
voice is breaking.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if somebody's my phone is still on and the feedback might be coming from them. Maybe the Galaxy A71. Thank
I've
you. Yeah.
muted it.
yes,
Yeah.
because is my
My
voice
apologies.
clear
No,
now?
it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, okay. So what I was saying, that if I'm going little fast, so just let me know. I'll be, we'll go slow. But whatever questions you have, please write it down, and just put it at the end of the presentation, or as and when Miss Catherine or Miss Hermit will tell us. So we will definitely answer them. Uh, Now moving to the next slide. Now here we are talking about the variation. Understanding the variation is the key, because autism is very diverse. So now, what are the areas that we work on and we address, like communication, social interaction, repetitive behaviors, sensory processing, learning style, intellectual ability, or that we say IQ. So all are these areas where you will see a diversity. And sometimes the children who are on the spectrum, they might be non-verbal or maybe verbal. Social interaction will be there, or there will be no social interaction, because every child is unique. And we need to understand, we need to observe them, how they are responding, how they are their socialization and communication skills are. So we need to keep observing that. So these are the some areas that we need to address. Repetitive behavior, sometimes it's very mild, and sometimes it's very prominent, it's very marked. S- Now when it comes to sensory processing, which is itself a very long and broad term, which definitely affects the children with autism, because there are senses that affect their responses and their the outcome. So they may be hyposensitive, or they may be hypersensitive. So sensory processing is altogether a very big term, which we can take it up later. Now the learning style, this is very key, where some children learn with very strong visual spatial skills. Some children are very huge visual learners. They learn through visuals, more of flashcards. And some are kinesthetic learners. They learn by doing it, hands-on experience. But some are poor, some children have poor executive functioning, who are on spectrum, because they cannot organize their thoughts, they cannot organize, they cannot plan what they want, they how they are going to approach with the activity. And some are really detail focused. So these are some categories that you will see, and these are the diversity when it comes to the learning style. Now again, that the other area is intellectual ability, where it's severe, moderate, mild, average, gifted. So I need not to explain on this, because everyone knows that what will be how will be the severity, what will be the moderate and mild, and how are the gifted children are. So there are some autistic people who with the SAWA syndrome. I know some of you might be knowing it, so they are very much gifted. So there is a whole diversity that we can see children with autism. So that's why when we approach to these children, we need to keep our mind and our thoughts open and be more receptive, because if we close our thoughts and we will choose one approach, it's very difficult. This is the autistic spectrum condition. Here it is again that I have explained in the previous slide, that high functioning autism, Asperger syndrome, PDT, there are different disorders. Some have a mild learning disability, some have moderate learning. So I've already covered in the diversity of autism. So now I'm moving forward. So variation, we need to understand the variation. That is the key here. Once you get a hold of it, up to 80%, up to 75%, you will be able to design your intervention activities or targeted approach, that how you want to, what are the needs and how you want to target them, and how you want to help those children. So your half of the job will be done once you understand the variation. So it takes time, but gradually you get hold of it. Now, this I talked about in the first slide. The red flags of ASD, the prominent features that we see: lack of eye contact, lack of attention, speech delay, lack of social communication, and repetitive behavior. So I have what I have done, that I have put these four features here to start with, because I know there can be many, which I when I received the responses, when I played the video, so there were many. And I absolutely agree to all those responses which I received, and it also became an eye opener for me. So such responses were very much elevating, and it will definitely add to our knowledge as well. But we are sticking to these four prominent features: lack of eye contact, lack of attention, speech delay, and lack of social communication, and repetitive behaviors. Now, as we move to the lack of eye contact, so we all know that children who are on spectrum, they cannot make the proper eye contact. They will be might be seeing here, they might be up, down. So they will always try to escape, and they will not make the right eye contact with the LSA or with the sense support or specialist who is with the child. So there are some of the practical intervention effective strategies that I apply and I use it, which is always I always try to greet and speak to the child by looking into the eyes. uh, it has to be straight, and it should not be like, you should not be diverted, or you should look straight, greet them, speak to the child by looking to the eyes. I always try to give one or two words instructions by making the eye contact. I never lose my eye contact, so that there is any room for distraction for the child. Now, while you're doing your activity, whatever the task may be, you need to maintain that eye contact. Once it is gone, uh, just uh, just leave that the just fo- the, now the things will be out of your control. Once you leave that eye contact, your child definitely is going to escape, and you will not be able to finish that activity with him. So always demonstrating. There will be prompts also, you will be using the prompts and everything, but whenever you are demonstrating the activity, please maintain the eye contact. Call out the name more frequently, which I very seldomly see that at times we, I don't know, we do it intentionally or not, but we forget to call out the name. We are so focused on our activities that sometimes we forget to take the name more frequently, so that the child is there with you. So it's important to call out the name as frequently as possible. Just see the relevance. It's not I'm not saying that just take out the name even if it is not relevant, but take out the name when it is relevant, and also it keeps your coordination with the child intact. Your whatever activity and whatever strategy that you have come up with, whatever intervention that you are doing, it is important that you, if you call out the name more frequently, you will stay with the child, and there are greater chances of success. Now, when we move to the next one, lack of attention. uh, Wait. this is the same one. Okay. Uh, okay. This now lack of attention and lack of eye contact makes the same one of the same thing, but only thing I want to mention in the lack of attention is that whatever whenever you have planned any activity, these are same one of the same things, but there is a little difference. Attention in terms of that when you are doing some activity, you have to plan that activity as per the interest and need of the child. While I was talking about the demonstrating the task, so at that time you define that task so clearly, and keeping in view the interest of the child, you plan that activity so well so that the attention remains intact there. Whether you are planning a scissor paper cutting activity with him, or you are planning any coloring activity with him, or you are or her, or you are planning any fine motor skill activity, or a writing activity, whatever you have planned, you have to come up with a lot of manipulations and activities which are in line with the interest of the child, so that his attention is there. So for that, you need to observe the child more, so that you will get to know that what are his interests. Maybe he's good in coloring, maybe he's good in paper cutting, maybe his fine motors are yet not utilized well, or yet not identified well. So I think that is the key here. So I believe that once you identify that, these two areas, lack of eye contact and lack of attention, will definitely will help you. If you use these effective strategies, maybe there will be more, but to I will stick to these strategies, so that it is because it I'm getting success from them, so I'm using it. So that's why I've kept here. It can be many more for any for any each one of you who are using different practical intervention or effective strategies, they can also share. It will be an add-on to our knowledge. uh, Now I would like to call my colleague Bhavna to take from here.
Hi guys, good evening. And as Rohit was telling you that lack of attention and lack of eye contact. So obviously lack of eye contact is always, you always call the name, always see in their eyes and talk to them, and try to speak them whenever they see in your eyes, not ask them to see unless they look into your eyes. And like developing attention, there are so many activities you can do while working to develop the attention is, doing the task, maybe looking at the teacher, maybe looking at the board, listening to the teacher. This is all developing the attention, and it does not come, in a month or so. Some children may develop in a month, some children may require a quarter, maybe a term or more than that to develop that attention. So, but you should be consistent with your strategies. Always look the child interest, what he wants to do to develop the, his attention skills. Do not force your strategies or your intentions or plays what you want to do with the child. Yes, you give him options to choose, but then look what he is looking forward and then develop his attention. So
Exactly.
now I'll go to speech and social communication delay, which is the pillar, one of the pillar for autism. And I think most of the children, they lack speech, and they, when they start the school, they are all delayed in their speech. And I have observed children where they have no speech and they come to school and they show behaviors, and it's very very difficult for, the school to handle such children. So how do you develop the speech? Because a child, maybe, he is from a different culture, the school culture is different, he's not able to understand what you are saying. So how do you tell him what you want from him? So the best thing is to use pictures with these children. Pictures work wonderfully with these children. So slowly and gradually they will understand, when you show them the pictures, that this means something for them. This is play, this is eating time, this is, cleaning or tidy up time, this is mama, this is daddy, this is your brother. So try and develop the vocabularies with the flashcards, with lot of other things what they are touching and doing, or within the class you have a lot of material. So because they are visual learners, autistic children are easily grasp the things when they see things. So it is easy for them to understand, and slowly and steadily their vocabulary will develop. Once their vocabulary start developing, it is easy for them to speak 2 letter sentences or 3 letter sentences, and the behaviors automatically will come down. So starting to speak is not only showing the flashcards, it also is modeling. Like, ask your friend, can I play with you? Can I play with you? This is modeling I'm doing in front of the child to tell him to ask his friend. Play. When you are playing with the child, you are doing some activity with him. Use words when you are playing. Like, if the boys like to play with Play-Doh, tell him this is Play-Doh. Rolling. How do you roll it? And then slowly and steadily, when you are playing with him, his vocabulary will develop. He will know what does this mean. And then he will start speaking to you. And I tell you, when they start speaking, it is the moment of great excitement. And you will love that you have really succeeded in something. Repetition of words and phrases throughout the day. When you are introducing a new word to a child, try to use its maximum throughout the day, so the child understands which word he has to use and where he can use it. So using a word again and again also helps them to remember. Use variety of cues to support them when you're introducing a new word. At times, the children doesn't they are not they want to speak, but they forget what the word was. So you can give a slight verbal prompt, like, if I want to teach him saying good morning, I can say go and stop myself, so he understands the word is good morning. It depends how you will develop the cues. I'm just giving you an example of one. It can be a physical clue as well, that I taught a child to say good morning by keeping my hand on his shoulder. That, yes, now you have to speak good morning. When I touch your shoulder, you have to speak good morning. Or when I touch your chin, you have to speak good morning. So there are a lot of cues which you can use to develop the child vocabulary. And when you see the child is using it, please don't hesitate to reward him immediately at that moment, because that is what they look and seek attention for, and they feel happy. Yes, I'm getting something out of it, so he will start using it more often. Next slide, Rohit. So the other is like repetitive behaviors, because in autism it is a common identifier that children with autism, they show repetitive behaviors. It can be, repetitive behavior doesn't mean only shaking hands, flapping hands, or moving their head up and down, or just shaking something or something like that. It can be a repetition of some activity, a repetition of a thing to do for them. Maybe a child is over obsessed about animals. Maybe a child is over obsessed about the hair dryer. So you need to identify what is his repetitive behavior is. What does he want? And then you can use it as a sensory gratification for the child. You understand that rewards always work with sensory gratification. The child is doing those repetitive behaviors because he wants those sensory gratification to pacify himself. So when you use this as an effective strategy, you can use it as a reward, and the child will be so happy to get it and will do as and when you want him to do to complete the activity. Another thing is, maybe the repetitive behaviors is such something like that which you don't want the child to do because it is not socially acceptable, like screaming, which is not socially acceptable. So how would you do that? Or maybe whistling. Some childs do whistling. So how will you do that? Because you cannot stop the social gratification. So as soon as you find that the child is about to do, you have to note down the timer, with the timer, at what intervals he is doing so. And just before that interval finish, You have to give him something of sensory gratification, maybe a Play-Doh, maybe a squishy ball, maybe some gel, or maybe something which he likes, so that he does the gratification with doing sensory things which he wants to do, which is not socially acceptable. So that is, you are replacing his unwanted, unaccepted social behaviors with something which is socially acceptable. But if you will not give him something to alternate his behaviors, he will not feel like, he will be doing continuously same thing again and again, and it would be very difficult for him, for you to manage his behaviors. Work on the interest activities to build the communication and educational targets. That is what I have told earlier. Always check the interest of the child to develop his communication. It is not necessary that I develop the communication as I wish I can speak so words. No, I should look at the child and understand what is his basic needs to do. Is he able to communicate that he wants to eat, he wants to drink, he wants to play, he wants to go to take a break, he wants to talk to his mama, or he wants to do something. So that is my area of focus, to develop his communication. Once that area is developed, then I can move ahead and then think about the level the child is, and then start his communication again. And similarly, I can use the activities, the play activities, to achieve my educational targets. Suppose a child likes playing with animals all the time. So how I'm going to do my educational targets with him? Why not? I can use them to count numbers. I can use them to count forward, to count backward, to do addition, to do subtraction. And I'm achieving my educational targets as well. So I would say that the interest of the child, where he is interested, we should give him a lot of opportunities to explore, and then use these activities to develop their communication and educational targets. Rohit, next one, please. So the way forward is always work with the children, keeping in mind that what is the end target you want to achieve with this child. Suppose the children which I came across was a non-verbal child. So for me, the first target would be to start his communication skills. It would not be the educational skills for me. For me, it would be social skills to develop first, because when communication and social interaction starts, education will always start with this, because he will look around, his friends are sitting in the class, they are doing some learning, so he will also start with that. But if I don't work on social and communication skills, other skills will not fall in place. Reward the child for his good behavior then and there. Initially when you start working with a child, always give him free rewards, so that your bonding becomes strong with him. He understands that you are the person who he will get attention and his reward, and then he will do as you wish. Saying no is sometimes a problem with these children, because they don't understand no. For them, there are no boundaries for no. So when we say something no to them, you have to adhere with them. No means no. If you cannot do this thing, you cannot do this thing. Maybe you have to take the child in the corner, make him sit there for some time. Maybe you have to hold him for a while, so that he doesn't run away and do whatever he wants to do. Maybe when you say no to him, you may not look in his eyes, so that he doesn't make eye contact with you. So you have to show him that when something is said no, he cannot do it, and then you will see that he will not do it again, or he will not ask you to do that again. Develop a visual schedule both at home and in school. It is very important for the children of who have autism, because the children don't understand what is going out throughout the day, how their day life will flow. So once they understand the pictures, they know what is going to be next, and it is easy for them to transition from one classroom or one level of study to another level of study. And I would say, be consistent with your effort. Never pressurize the kid to achieve the targets. You just work. If he is not happy with one activity, maybe he will switch on to another. Okay, fine, let's do the another activity which interests him, but never push the child for achieving the targets, because once he feels the pressure, he will not do it, and he won't do it, and he won't like it. So you will not be able to meet your targets. So give him a space where he does his learnings, you achieve your target, maybe not in 1 month, maybe in 2 months, or maybe in 3 months time. So it is up to you how you design his targets along with the class teacher and with the Senko, and then work accordingly. Last and not the least, be compassionate with the child and develop a trust with him, because this is what is very, very important to work as an LSA.
But have even prospered during these difficult times.
Hello. So once he understands that you are the person who understands, you are the person he can trust, so anything and everything which is happening in his life, he will come and talk to you, and then he will look answers from you. That is what you are working as a shadow teacher to help him out. And when you see that the child is really developing well, the work of a shadow teacher is to take back his shadow and let the child to be independent. This is what the final target is, to make a child finally independent of doing all the things together by himself.
This is the one area I would like to add, that what is the target here? That everyone comes up saying that I have set some targets for this term, second term, third term, but little realizing it, that what is the main target, what is the ultimate goal that you are there with the kid. That is the question that I want to ask in this forum. The what is the target for you? What is the ultimate goal that you want to achieve? Leave aside your IEPs and whatever that you do, that are most important things. Do not leave it. But what is the ultimate goal that we are going to achieve with all the practical and effective strategies, interventions that we are working every day, and we are putting our best effort, and we are putting our heart and soul into the job. What is the ultimate target that we are going to achieve? That is what I want to ask to the forum, and I want to know that how we can reach to that ultimate goal, that why we are there. So that is my question. Now the forum is absolutely open for the questions. Any uh, one can ask any question, or we will try to give our answers at the best of our level.
Well, guys, that was absolutely brilliant. I think there is so much usable information there that we've all got loads to take away from it. We've got just about 10 minutes. So we have one question on the chat. Can you please suggest some strategies for turn taking? Flashcards didn't work.
I think modeling will work wonders if you show him my turn and your turn. I have
Okay.
used it with at least 3 or 4 kids, and it has always worked with me.
Super, super. Does anyone else have any suggestions? Has anyone in the group found something that's really good and that has worked for them?
Social games, I would suggest, like Miss Catherine has already answered it. Social games, these are accessible, cheap, and if you can practice, use those games, it will be definitely good for turn taking. That I've been using it, but it depends, like again, child to child. So I think that will definitely can help.
Right. So some of you have put some amazing questions and suggestions on there. Would you like to unmute your mic and speak up? Go ahead and do that. This is the whole idea of this forum, is to encourage you to speak up.
What about Janet? Janet Crasso, you have a really good question about objects. Would you like to ask? Maybe not. Okay. Well,
Hello. Yeah.
yes.
Good evening. Yes. Uh, the child which I'm working, he is having his sensory issues. So I would like to know some things which I can help, which will help him more. Actually, he was when I started with him, he was not able to speak at all. He was in grade KG1, but now I'm with him. right from KG till grade 3. So he has developed a lot. But when now the studies go higher and higher, he's having an EIP. That's not an issue. But how to bring that level to? I want him to be improving each day, like not my, but as a uh, he's having a lot of sensory issues. So I want to now the school will start also. So I want some ideas so that I can keep him in the class
Uh, can I
along
ask
with the
Miss?
other children.
Miss, can I ask the which sensory issue? Like we have five senses and three more, like proprioceptive sense, vestibular sense are two more senses to the normal senses that we have. That is tactile, touch, smell, hear, and eyes. So which exactly sensory issue that the child is facing? Like so that we will be more
So,
specific.
so he's not able to hold the pencil properly and write in a line. He has just
Mm-hmm.
started writing now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's the issue with him now.
Is it sensory?
Yeah, it's sensory.
Okay,
He
so you're
cannot
saying
hold
that
the
it's in.
pencil for a long time in his hand.
Okay.
His hand
So
starts to pain. Yeah.
okay, so one thing I can see that I can imagine or visualize that he is he reluctant to hold the pencil because most of the kids they don't want to hold the pencil, and it's a big work for them to hold the pencil and start writing because they always throw tantrums and they are not willing. So that can be one of the issues that he doesn't want to write, and he doesn't want to use want to follow the instructions. So just identify that is that the problem or the tactile, which is you are saying that touch, because he's not he is he has a problem when he touches the pencil or something like that. So he feels nervous or he feels disturbed or something like that. So first identify that whether he's reluctant to, like he's unwilling to take the pencil and start writing, or it is actually the sensory, because this has happened with me. So I identified that was not sensory, and it was just he's trying to escape and he just don't want to follow the instructions. So at times it can happen. And now
No.
if it is a sensory, then
Mm.
the for the tactile you need to introduce a certain material to him before he starts writing, which is the sensory material. Does he what kind of activities you do when you teach him? Is he kind of this is sensory material which is a bright colored material that we find in the shops, that you can we use it to show the numbers and letters. But is it like he's having issues with all the sensory, like paint, like colors, like everything? So touch means that if he's not able to hand this what we use um, this clay, maybe he's so for the sensory issue which is related to tactile, there are so many reasons. So you need to identify that whether how much uncomfortable he is with all the other sensory material that you have. You can have clay, you can have this I don't know, remember that what we call that there are different colors. It's not coming into my mind, but clay I use it for to show the numbers and then to
Is
give
it
him the visual
the
feeling.
sandpaper
Sand, the
letters
sensory
maybe?
sand, yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, Miss
Sandpaper.
Catherine. Yes, the
Yeah.
sensory sand. The sensory sand material is the first thing that you show by making one, two. So once he start making this, he identifies the shape of the numbers and letters. That how I started with that with my child, because such thing, once they will start seeing those visually, that will create an a image in their mind. Okay, this is one, two, three. Then they will start holding something, because for the touch it's very difficult. If it's a tactile issue, sensory issue, then it's very difficult. You cannot straight away start with a pencil and expect that they can start writing. So use all these materials, try to explore, innovate. That's all I can suggest.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would add one thing in this, always see a child into a transition. You cannot reach to the level you want as the other children are doing in the class, but you always give him something to reach to that place. So what can it be? What bus it can be or what train you can give him so that he can reach to that place, I would say. So giving a thing, like if a child is, drinking milk with a bottle, I'm giving you an example, general example. I cannot ask the child to drink the milk directly from the cup, right? So I
Yeah.
have to give him something in between to transition from level A to level C, right? You understand what I mean to say?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
find out what can it be. So because as Rohit said, if it is a sensory issue, you have to work with the sensory things to get his sensory gratification first, and then he will write. But if it's not a sensory issue, it is an escape only, then you need to work in other ways to get him away with the escape.
Escape
Or
Right.
strategy.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry,
escape
go ahead.
strategies.
I'm going to pose a question that is it, where's my chat coming up here? What do we do how do we stop when child keep on screaming? Okay, I'll just quickly just tell Janice, usually there is always a reason for behavior. The screaming, there is a reason for it. So you need to know why the child is screaming. Is he uncomfortable? Is he trying to escape? Is he not getting what he needs? Is the work too difficult for him? Is the classroom environment too harsh for him? Are the sounds around him too loud? Even sometimes the clothes, the tag on the clothes can also be a problem. So in order to do that, you need to understand why the child is screaming. And they just won't stop just because you tell them to stop. You need to get to the root of the problem. And once you understand why the screaming is there, then you can slowly work your way out. Go and research something that's called an ABC chart. Look at it. That will help you to track the reasons why he's screaming. Yeah. I think, Kate, are we running out of
Thank you, ma'am.
time?
We're just about done. Yes. We are 5-2. So, guys, I must say thank you everyone for all of your questions. There really are lots of interesting questions and lots of chat in the private chat as well, which is great to see. You guys are supporting each other. Mr. Rohit and Miss Bhavna, that was really, really interesting, really well presented, really usable information. Guys, please do come and support as Mr. Rohit and Miss Bhavna have done. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear your experience and see how you're doing things on the ground. If you've got a really good idea, please do email either Ms. Harmeet or myself, and we will get you guys on the forum to present as well. You can see how much useful information we're taking away from these. As I said earlier, we'll post the recording on the website at www.incluzun.com. That's INCLUZUN. And if anyone wants to come and check out our resources, we're slowly building up our resources on the website too. I think that was a really good session. Ms. Harmeet, have you anything to add?
Yes, that was amazing. Now, I think some of you on my LSA, some of you are on the LSA group, and I've already created 2 groups. I've also sent out a message saying that I'm going to do another what do you call that, training session very soon. So I'm going to start with the next round of people who want to come and do these presentations. You've seen the first round, they're amazing. I still have Sumera and Joanne, unfortunately, who didn't get to present today, but next forum it'll be them, and by which time, if you are keen to join that group, you come on. Now, I have also got a lot of jobs coming in. If you don't have a job as well, please can you send your CV to Bhavna, what's the CV, the address again, I forgot.
I will type it CV LSAUAE@gmail.com.
Yes, so
that address is going into the chat, guys. So if anyone wants to send their CV, it will be there.
yes, and I also have created a WhatsApp group with jobs that I will post as much as I can, so that you are able to, so that all of you can be employed. And I do hope that we can help everyone as much as we can to get a job. I know everybody is, in need of support. So please do carry on. And thank you, Rohit and Bhavna. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
keeping us
Thank you
with
so
us.
much, Miss Ketson and Miss Hamid, for giving us the opportunity. And it's totally a roller coaster ride for us, and we feel so empowered. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
We had over 70 people today, which is really good. So please continue to like and share and get everybody involved, guys, because it's free, it's open, and I think it's valuable.
Oh, hang on. Somebody wants to know email. I can send my question to Rohit. Do you want to share your email here so they can ask you the questions? Or that's going to be quite a big influx of questions. So Rohit, think very carefully.
I've put
I
our
I will
LinkedIn
try and
profiles.
just I will try my
Yeah,
best to answer. But if I skip, so please don't mind.
yeah.
And I've put our
Other,
LinkedIn profiles on there as well, so people can reach
Yes.
out to us on LinkedIn, all of us. And if anyone wants to offer their support for the whole group by answering questions as well, put your own LinkedIn profile up there so other people can access your expertise and knowledge.
Right.
Okay, everyone, have a wonderful
all
evening.
right. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank you,
see you
ma'am.
Bye-bye.
soon. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.